China has built such a flying car that can fly above you, can see your face, and can send data to Beijing, and you won't even know it. This is not science fiction. This is happening in 2026 right now, inside your city. Media around the world celebrated it by calling it the future of transport. But no one asked this question. If this car flies, then what are the cameras and sensors installed in its seeing? And most importantly, where is this data going? Today, I will tell you everything that news channels are not telling. In February 2026, the Chinese company XPeng Aero HT presented its land aircraft carrier to the world, a six-wheeled electric van, inside which a two-seater flying drone is hidden. This drone comes out of the van, flies in the sky, and comes back and fits inside the van. Its price is $300,000. XPeng has received more than 7,000 pre-orders, and at Dubai GDX 2025, it received 600 orders from the Middle East alone. EHang, another Chinese company, has already achieved the world's first commercial eVTOL certification in October 2023. EHang's H26S model is already flying openly on the streets of Guangzhou. No pilot, no runway, just an app and an autonomous AI system. The Chinese government included the low-altitude economy for the first time in its official government work report in 2024. It declared it a national priority. See, China's Civil Aviation Administration estimates that in 2025 this industry was $211 billion, and by 2035 will reach $482 billion. In Shenzhen, drone food delivery has already become a daily routine. People order bubble tea through an app and a drone delivers it in 30 minutes. Superficially, this all looks amazing. But beneath the surface, there is a very big and disturbing picture. XPeng's land aircraft carrier has LiDAR radar and multiple high-definition cameras installed. The company itself says that it achieves Level 4 autonomy. Level 4 autonomy means that this vehicle can navigate in a complex urban environment entirely alone, without any human control. For this, 360-degree environmental awareness is used, meaning the cameras of this flying car are recording everywhere at every angle all the time. XPeng has its own Turing AI chip, which works on 3,000 TOPS computing power. This means this chip can process 3 trillion operations in 1 second. This chip processes 30 billion parameters locally, even without a cloud server. But when it is connected to the cloud, all this data, video, location, facial mapping, goes to XPeng's servers. XPeng's VLA 2.0 AI system has been trained on 100 million real-world driving videos. In every frame, people's faces, cars, roads, buildings, everything was recorded. And this AI system updates on the cloud every 5 days, meaning Chinese servers are continuously receiving new data. Now imagine, a flying car is flying at a height of 100 meters. The street below, houses, people, everything is in the range of its cameras, meaning everything is in front of its sight. And this is not just XPeng. EHang's H216S also has autonomous navigation sensors that continuously scan the environment. Amory Economics Review specifically wrote in 2026, low-flying eVTOLs leave residents at risk of unwanted surveillance by onboard cameras. This concern was raised not by some blog, but by an academic journal, and yet the media ignored it. A low-altitude economy official report itself wrote, privacy leakage and information problems are the main challenges of this industry, meaning China's own industry reports are admitting that these flying vehicles are a privacy risk, but development is not stopping. Now let's come to the part that is most important. China's existing surveillance system. China already has the world's largest AI-based public surveillance system. AFC's 2026 report confirms this. According to a CNN report from December 2025, it is written in documents from China's Shanghai district that AI-powered cameras and drones will automatically discover and intelligently enforce the law. This means these cameras and drones will decide themselves if any suspicious activity is happening and will alert the police themselves. China's social credit system already tracks people's behavior. Train tickets, online purchases, court records, everything is converted into a score. According to the South China Morning Post, more than 30 military and government agencies are already using bird-like drones to conduct surveillance on people in 5 provinces. Now imagine, when 10,000 flying cars per year which is XPeng's 2026 plan, will be flying in the streets and skies of China. How powerful will this surveillance network become? DJI, the Chinese drone company, already controls 70% of the global commercial drone market. The U.S. government has declared DJI a national security threat because the data collected from DJI drones can go to Chinese servers. The 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, has specifically mandated that vendors with any undisclosed ties to the CCP among Chinese tech companies should be removed from the federal supply chain. If a small DJI drone raises so much concern, then a full flying car which has LiDAR, radar, HD cameras, and AI chips, how concerning is that? The Chinese government issued Automotive Data Export Security Guidelines at the end of 2025, which clearly say that data collected from vehicles will be regulated. But regulate does not mean transparency. It means the government's control over the data. There is no independent data protection body in China that can stop the government from accessing data. The government itself is the oversight and itself the user. An Atlantic Council report says that China is building a full-fledged nationwide surveillance architecture, and flying cars can become a new layer of this architecture. Until now, surveillance was only on the ground: cameras, phones, social media. Flying cars take this surveillance literally to the sky. You can be seen literally from the sky. Now I will tell you the side that most people don't hear. This is not so simple black and white. XPeng is legally a publicly listed company. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange, and if it openly collects data and gives it to the government, its U.S. listings will end. China's Civil Aviation Administration, CAAC, has made strict rules for flying only daytime flights, clear weather, visual line of sight. These are clearly not surveillance-optimized rules. The Jamestown Foundation February 2026 research report raised an interesting point. China's low-altitude economy is still a bubble. Drones are crashing, there are no profits, and actual commercial viability has not been proven yet. In September 2025 at the Changchun Air Show, 2 XPeng flying cars crashed mid-air, one caught fire. A logistics drone in Shenzhen crashed in a downtown area in February 2026. Safety is still a real concern, and the energy density of lithium batteries is not yet such that these vehicles can fly for more than 15 to 20 minutes. So they are physically impractical for widespread surveillance right now. But, and this but is very big, technology improves, batteries get better, and infrastructure expands. What is impractical today becomes possible in 5 years, and China has a $480 billion industry plan for after 5 years. That is why it is necessary to have this conversation now, while technology is immature, not when it is already everywhere. And one more thing, this problem is not just China's. In America too, Joby Aviation, Archer Aviation are launching flying taxis. Commercial operations began in 2025. Their vehicles also have cameras and sensors, and the U.S. government's record regarding data collection is also not perfect. The difference is, in the U.S., there are independent courts, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, and civil society organizations that can challenge the government. In China, none of this exists, and this is the fundamental difference that makes this debate different. XPeng has already sold 600 flying cars to Dubai. Delivery in the Middle East is to happen in 2026. Indonesia, where XPeng was showcased at GE's 2025, is also thinking of importing Chinese flying cars, meaning this technology will not just stay inside China, it will be exported, and along with it, cameras, sensors, and data pipelines will also go. EHang's AH-216S has already flown in more than 24 countries in the name of demonstrations, tourism flights, and emergency services pilots. This is precisely the pattern that happened with DJI. First became dominant in the global market, then raised security concerns, but by then, the technology had spread everywhere. The US's 2026 NDAA has explicitly written that individual data should be considered a critical national security and economic resource. The same concern applies to flying cars. A flying car that flies above your neighborhood can collect much more data than road-level cameras. It can see rooftops. It can see private courtyards. It can see places that are blind spots for cameras on the ground. Military analysts call this concept persistent aerial surveillance, And this was traditionally the job of expensive government drones. Now this same surveillance capability can fly in front of people's houses in the form of a commercial product, and no questions will be asked. The goal of the Chinese government's UAS management system, UOMS, is that all drone flight information should be integrated into a central cloud. This cloud is government-controlled, meaning every flying car's location, every flight path, every video feed, everything is going into a central government database. This is not just theory. Aircraft location services have been explicitly mentioned in CAIC official documents as national UOMS objectives. Now I show you another dimension. This is not just an issue of surveillance, this is also an issue of economic control. Just like China achieved global dominance in the EV industry, today Chinese EVs are all over the world. It wants to do exactly the same with the low-altitude economy. There is 70% supply chain overlap between EVs and eVTOLs. Batteries, motors, carbon fiber, China already manufactures all this at scale. If China achieves a DJI-like dominant position in the global flying car market, then it will not only control transport infrastructure, it will also control data infrastructure. And whoever has the transport has the data. And whoever has the data has the power. Now you must be thinking, I am in the USA or some other country. What difference does China's flying cars make to me? This question is very important, and the answer will shock you. USA, Turkey, UAE, Saudi Arabia. All these countries import Chinese technology, have partnerships with Chinese companies, and accept Chinese investment. Huawei towers, ZTE networks, DJI drones, these are all already widely deployed in South Asia and the Middle East. When the next wave of flying cars comes, and when Chinese companies come into the market with aggressive pricing, it will be very difficult for developing countries to resist, because the truth is, Chinese technology is cheap, and cheap technology is hard to resist when your economy is already struggling. But cheap has a cost that is not written on the price tag, and that cost is your data, your privacy, and potentially your national security. This is not Chinophobia, this is practical geopolitics. And if you are watching this video from Dubai or UAE, where 600 units of XPeng have already been ordered, then this concern is literally a matter of next door for you. In 2026, the first Chinese flying cars are to arrive in the Middle East, and there has been no serious public debate about this so far. These videos, these discussions, these are the conversations that should happen, and should happen now. Because when technology spreads everywhere, regulation and awareness both become very late. But I want to tell you one more thing that almost every news channel completely ignored. XPeng's flying cars are not just a tool for external surveillance. They also collect data on the people who travel in them. Passenger biometric data, face, body posture, heartbeat sensor are mastered features in autonomous vehicles today. XPeng's cars already have a driver monitoring system. It tracks your eye movement, your face, and your mood. In a flying car, this feature will be even more intensive because passenger behavior monitoring becomes a part of safety for autonomous flight. This means, when you sit in a Chinese flying car, you will not just be a passenger, you will be a data source. And that data, your face, your route, your time, your behavior, will be stored on Chinese servers. China's National Intelligence Law 2017 says that Chinese companies have an obligation to support the government in intelligence work, if the government requests it. This law is still enforced today, and no Chinese company is exempt from this law, whether it is publicly listed or private. Therefore, this is not just a question of surveillance. This is a question of sovereignty. Do you want a company operating according to a foreign government's law to fly over your country's sky? So is China's flying car a dangerous spying device? The honest answer is, not yet. But the potential is there, the infrastructure is being built, and there is no regulation. Technology itself is neutral. A camera is just a camera. But what that camera is connected to, who controls its data, and what the state of press freedom and judiciary is in that country, all these together decide whether the technology is innocent or dangerous. China's flying car technology is impressive. This cannot be denied. XPeng, EHang, Autoflight, these companies are doing world-class engineering. But engineering excellence and data ethics are two different things. And so far, the Chinese flying car industry has not addressed both simultaneously. The world needs to ask questions of data governance before enthusiastically adopting this technology. Where is the data going? For how long will it be stored? Can the Chinese government access this data? And most importantly, if you are the country where these cars will operate, then do your laws protect this data? Until these questions are answered, the flying car is not just a shiny gadget. It is an unresolved question that is flying in the sky. And that question is flying over you. Literally. If video forced you to think about something new, do just one thing. Share this video with a friend who has an interest in technology. Because this conversation we are having here, these conversations are not happening in the mainstream media. The purpose of this channel is exactly this: to show things that are difficult to show, but necessary to know. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, because the next video is on an even more important topic than this. Tell in the comments, will you travel in a Chinese flying car or not, and why? I read every comment, and your answers decide what the topic of the next video will be.